Hello folks, shintigercurl here, that dude in the straw hat, bringing you yet another wrestling review. I'm of course joined by my roommate and co-host, Joe. Say hi, Joe. He's still pretty drunk from last night. Well, WrestleMania has come and gone. The greatest spectacle of our industry has come over from yet another year. And fan reaction has been somewhat split. Some thought it was the greatest, others thought it was trash. Myself, I thought it was slightly above average. Good, but could have been way better. So now, it's Monday night, post WrestleMania Raw. And how does it? And will it answer some questions? Who will get pushed over from last night? Got my notes? Let's start. First up, Triple H comes out very gingerly, having come off his war with The Undertaker. And he has the wounds of war all over his face. He gets on the mic and talks about how he respected the dead man so much more now. After the punishment he unleashed upon the dead man, he was still able to not only fight back, but win. And despite the fact that he was carried out not under his own power, gave Triple H a bit more respect for him. Also, Triple H said that he doesn't believe that Undertaker won't be back. So he says this when he comes back, the game will be ready. Overall, this was a short but very touching promo, as it showed that Triple H is not beyond giving respect where respect is due. So there's that. Commercial break. For a little bit of a sidebar, good old JR, Jim Ross, and Jerry the King Lawler doing commentary tonight. And next to them is the rebuilt coal mine covered in industrial tape. Speaking of the man bitch, Michael Cole comes out still wearing that god-awful outfit from last night. Ugh. And he starts to go on about how he was now had a streak going, 1-0, and how he wants to face The Undertaker next year, streak versus streak, and how since Shawn Michaels is retired, he will be now known as Mr. WrestleMania. Get over yourself, Cole, you pasty white gargoyle. Anyway, he challenges King to a rematch, which King accepts. But then, of course, it's revealed that the rematch was not for WrestleMania, but from his previous week with Jack Swagger. So, our first match, Jerry the King Lawler versus Jack Swagger. Now, I really didn't too much care for this match. This whole thing didn't give us a lot of resolution to the whole Jerry Lawler, Michael Cole thing, and this really doesn't help much. The end comes when Swagger locks in the ankle lock, and Jerry the King Lawler taps, giving him the victory. But for some reason, Swagger doesn't let go of the lock. So the referee says that he reversed the decision. So now Jerry Lawler won. Well, of course, Swagger and Cole are going apeshit over this. Cole gets into JR's face, and then goes into his coal mine, finds some of JR's barbecue sauce, and squirts it on him. No, Cole. You don't fuck with a man's barbecue sauce. Even Joe knows that. Anyway, I found this whole segment to be very tacked on and not really all that much. It's just boring. You could skip it, really. Our next match, we have would brighten things up. Before this match, Jim Ross and King, of course, don't come back out. Friggin' Cole comes out and he just goes ape shit to the point of being unsufferable. And to replace JR and the King, we get Booker T and Josh Matthews, which I like. For the next matchup, Randy Orton and Rey Mysterio versus Dr. Doom, Cody Rhodes. Yes, a friend of mine. Yes, you know who you are. You made that up. That's props to you, my friend. And CM Punk. Now, this was a very long but very good match. I mean, you don't see matches like this anymore, especially tag matches. This was a very well done match. And a little side note here, Punk and Cody are actually facing off against a team of not only their WrestleMania opponents from last night, but their WrestleMania opponents from last year. If you remember, Rey Mysterio fought CM Punk at WrestleMania last year, while Cody Rhodes, along with Ted DeBlandis, fought Randy Orton. So that's very interesting. But they're very high up on Cody right now, and I don't blame him. He's in a very good position. The mere fact that he's on the A show, wrestling in a match with 3 former multi-time world champions, that's really saying something. It was a very back-and-forth match, very wild, but in the end, formerly Dashing, or Dr. Doom Cody Rhodes, eats a 619 into an RKO. 1, 2, 3, Rey and Randy win. Good match, got nice and long, which is what I like, and very good in-ring action. Very good psychology, too. Too bad Punk ran like a bitch out of the ring. Next up, Stone Cold comes out, much to Cole's butthurt, and introduces the new rookies for WWE's Tough Enough, which is debuting right now as I'm speaking. There's a nice little crop of superstars. Even Big Rig was there. Now, if you are a veteran or a watcher of VH1's reality shows, Big Rig was actually in several reality shows, including I Love Money and Daisy of Love, as well as a few others that I can't remember. Anyway, looked like a nice crop of wrestlers until The Miz comes out to a surprisingly large pop. And this is very ironic since The Miz was actually a contestant on the original Tough Enough. He comes out and it's revealed that when Miz got hit by John Cena outside the ring, he actually suffered a mild concussion. So he actually finished the match and won it with a concussion. So I gotta give my props to The Miz for doing that. He gets in the ring, totally owning all of that heat, and gets into Stone Cold's face and says that, "You want to go, oh man? All you have to do is just say, clear the ring and we'll wrestle right now." Austin's like, "Clear the ring." So he and Miz start fighting until A-Ride gets involved. Miz gets away, but Stone Cold pretty much stomps a mud hole in A-Ride's ass. And he even does a nice Lou Thez, one of his patented Lou Thez presses, which is pretty impressive considering that he's retired. Eats a stunner, gets some beer, gives everyone some beer. Booker T notes that he does not want a beer from Stone Cold now after getting stunned last night, and gives Cole a nice little baptism of beer, as Booker would call it. Overall, I enjoyed this a lot more than I thought I would. The Tough Enough rookies were still very green, but they kept their little promos very short as not to grate on anyone's nerves. Stone Cold was on his game tonight. Miz was on his game, so this was more enjoyable than I thought it would be. Next up, Alberto Del Rio, Rick, takes on Evan Bourne. This is pretty much a squash match. Even though Bourne got some offense in and blooded up his lip, it was pretty obvious that no way Bourne is going to go over on a pissed off ADR. And ADR actually looked pretty good out there. So for a squash match, it was pretty entertaining. Next up, Dolph Ziggler and Vicky Guerrero come out. Vicky throwing Leiku under the bus, blaming them entirely for the loss they suffered at the hands of Snooki and her team. Dolph continues and says that he wants to challenge John Morrison, since the only one on his team that had any skill is gone. Low blow, Ziggler. So next match is John Morrison and Trish, aka Double Sexy, versus Dolph Ziggler and Vicky Guerrero. Now there was a lot of comedy when Vicky and Trish got into the ring. We all know Vicky can't wrestle for shit, but just watching her try is just hilarious. Not to mention watching her ass is an added bonus. But the match really picks up when Dolph and John Morrison get in the ring. Starship Pain gives John Morrison and Trish the win. Alright, moving on. Next up, the match we got screwed out over. Sheamus versus Daniel Bryan for the United States title. Now, as I understand from Josh Matthews, it was a dark match. It didn't even make it to air, and when it did happen, it got a FUBAR ending that ended in a battle royal. And you could tell Sheamus and Daniel Bryan were very pissed. I mean, this was Daniel Bryan's first WrestleMania, and he didn't even make it on the card. You dropped the ball, WWE. You dropped the ball. I'm not going to repeat what Joe just said because there might be kids watching. Anyway, this was a decent match. It would have been better. I know it would have been better if it made it onto the card. It would have been better than that crap match that we had at the end. But it was a long story short. Sheamus wins. It's kind of a hollow victory since they didn't get the show off. I know these two, and it just seemed like they didn't put too much effort into it. They were just both very angry, and I don't blame them. So anyway, Sheamus is beating. I'm ready to throw my remote at the screen for the fact that they skipped this match, as Sheamus beats the crap out of Daniel Bryan for no reason until he arrives. That's right. It's the debut of Sin Cara. That's right. He made his debut, and even though he botched his entrance a little, it was so beautiful that we didn't care. And the hype was well worth it, because watching Sin Cara was like watching poetry in motion. Sin Cara just looks so fluid and elegant. It's like watching an angel fly. In fact, one of my friends online said that they did a good job at hiding the wires. There must be wires. Why? Because outside the ring he performs one of the most beautiful and breathtaking flying cross bodies I've ever seen in a long time. And that was the debut of Sin. Even Joe was speechless. Yeah, that little bit of epic was well worth watching this show for. If you gotta watch this Raw, watch it for that. Anyway, last but not least, we get the epic Cena confrontation of The Rock. Now, Cena's promo was typical Cena. It's like he doesn't have a care in the world. I mean, he even said that he didn't care that he lost to The Miz. So wait a minute. You lost. John Cena, let me get this right. You dare to smile because you lost at WrestleMania. And you lost your title shot. You got cost the title shot and you don't care? Cena, who the fuck do you think you are? Saying that you don't care about the title. Everyone cares about the title. Alberto Del Rio didn't win the title last night, and he was pissed off about it. Took it out on fucking Matt Sydal, for God's sakes. You just smile about it with your fucking Red Lantern shirt on, and just say, "Oh well, I don't care. Fuck Miz. I'm not gonna wrestle him anytime soon." I want to talk to you about The Rock. The Rock comes out, cuts a typical Rock promo, utterly owning Cena, and Cena suggests that that the fans didn't come to see them wrestle. I mean, the fans didn't come to see them talk. They came to see him fight. And typically takes off his hat, takes off his shirt, throws it in the crowd, and Rock looks at him like, "Okay, we're gonna fight, but we're gonna do it at WrestleMania 27. That's right." Now, I'm not sure about this, but at first I was disappointed. But thinking about it, this kind of match could only happen at a WrestleMania. I mean, you have the biggest face in the company of this generation versus the biggest superstar of the company of the last generation. Having it at a pay-per-view other than WrestleMania wouldn't do enough justice. And since it's a year from now, they have a long time to build up to this match, and hopefully it might live up to the hype. Cena agrees and they shake hands, and then out comes the Core. They rush the ring, they jump Cena and Rock, but of course, Rock fights him off. Then Cena hits the "You Can't See Me" on Heath Slater. Then The Rock's like, "Oh, you want to do something like that?" He hits the rock bottom on Wade Barrett. Then he hits the AA on Heath Slater again. Then Rock hits the rock bottom on Wade Barrett. Now this was very badly booked for the core. I mean, they're the tag team. They hold the tag team and intercontinental titles. I mean, this is just terrible. It's bad enough they got squashed last night in a 2-minute match, but then to get totally and completely owned by The Rock and Cena, I almost feel sorry for them. But yeah, that's Raw. My verdict: it's good Raw. There were a lot of good promos, a lot of good and decent promos. The matches were good, which kind of forgives last night's crappy, lackluster Raw. Lackluster WrestleMania. My only gripe is that they had the Bryan Sheamus match tonight, which is kind of like a slap in the face to both those guys and to the fans that wanted to see that match, and only now we had to see it on TV. I mean, if I was Sheamus and Bryan, I would be crying in my dressing room over the fact that fucking Santino had a WrestleMania match and they didn't. Pitiful. But overall, it was a good Raw, so I recommend watching it. If not for Stone Cold stunning and beating the crap out of A-Rod, it's for the debut of cara. But yeah, that's Raw. So I'll see you next time as I review Impact. Can they repeat last Thursday's good show with an equally good show now that Christopher Daniels is back in TNA? Hopefully we'll find out. Oh, and I should also note that tonight was the final episode of Ring of Honor on HDNet. Shame. I love Ring of Honor. I first started watching it on HDNet, so it's a shame. And they had 2 great pay-per-views tonight. This weekend, that both, from what I heard, blew WrestleMania out of the water in terms of wrestling. So that was it. That's all I needed to say. So this is shintigercurl, that dude in the straw hat, and Joe saying goodnight and wrestle on.